Hello everybody and welcome to Nights of Wine TV. I'm your host Brandon Amherst Matthews, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Down Under Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program in the Southern Hemisphere. Today we're going to be discussing the categories within the meetups that we're going to be creating. Now, just to give you an idea of why we're doing what we're doing, we're creating categories, we're creating themes for the month, we're creating types of wine for the week, trying to isolate and break things down so that we have some sort of rhythm, so everyone's sort of involved in doing something very similar. So it doesn't matter where you are in the country, you'll be creating groups around a very similar theme, so we can have sort of a basis of the sameness, so that if people are on holidays or come up on work excursions or whatever, they can visit a meetup for wine tasting, and it's going to be very similar to what they know, and they then know what to expect. Okay, so what we've basically done is we've broken the meetups or the clubs into 10 different categories. Now these categories are connoisseurs. Now this is for someone who's a little bit more involved in wine. Anyone who's running a connoisseurs group should know about wine. They should be able to answer questions that are asked of them by the members. So if you want to run a connoisseurs meetup, just make sure that you understand wine. Maybe you're in the industry or something like that. Dining out. Now this category is so that you can add food to your wine. You might want to have your meetup at a restaurant. You must look into the licensing rules there if you're supplying the wine. What I've found in Queensland is the rules are fairly complex, and we're working within a grey area. Now the only way we're going to stay in that grey area is we have a responsible service of alcohol. You don't allow people to leave your venues drunk. You don't allow people to hang around outside your premises and make a ruckus, especially if you're in suburban area and you're having a weekly event. You don't want to upset your neighbours. If you do that, you're going to end up with the police on your doorstep, and you're going to have to wear the ramifications of that. So what we want you to do is we want you to stay responsible, have a good time, enjoy the evening, have a party as if you're having a party at your house. Try and keep the noise down if you've got neighbours very close and you're having them on a regular basis. But basically we're going to have everyone who joins the meetup is buy a glass. They're going to buy a glass, they're going to get their glass collection up and running. We have a recommended retail on those for $29.95. Now, in advance, you can choose the price that you want to sell those glasses for to help you cover the cost of the wine, so you can give the wine away. And the only other reason we can do this is because we do blind wine tasting, so you can't have everyone bring a bottle, because then they'll know what the bottle is. And what we want is we want people to experience the wine without knowing at all what the wine is or what the bottle is. So these are the parameters in which keep us in the grey area. We've got our responsible service of alcohol on our scoring sheet, so people can keep track of what they're drinking. Drinking is the responsibility of the person who's drinking. You can't make the host or the event organizer responsible for that. It's very important that as a member of this club that you adhere to these rules, so that we don't have any problems down the track. Now, okay, so dining out, you can go to restaurants, create menus, and you can charge extra for the, you can charge people for the glass, and you can also charge then for the meal, tell people what the meal is before they arrive and how it's going to complement the wines that you're tasting, blah, blah, blah. So maybe a seafood restaurant with some white wines and so on. Now, you can't drag people off the street. They have to be existing members. You can't sign them up that night on a laptop computer and say, okay, come and join us. Here's a glass for $25. That will be deemed as selling alcohol. So what the members have to join the club, join the group, understand that when they come to a group, they buy a glass, it goes to their collection in order for them to hold an event at a later stage, and they can then redistribute those glasses out. Or they can keep that collection and they can have some nice glasses in their closet as well. But it's so that you can collect the glasses and then you can have your own event and then you pass those glasses on. So basically, you can then also subsidise your wine purchases as well when you have a wine tasting. Okay, now we've got spirituality. It's a huge group in meetups at the moment, and people are exploring New Age spirituality. This can also go into religion if you want to keep people in a certain spiritual denomination together. You might have a Catholics meetup or a Christian meetup or any of those sorts of things. Not to leave out Jewish and Islam and Muslim and all those. I don't want to go through them all, but I'm thinking spirituality is more New Age style spirituality. But that's entirely up to the event organizer how they want to hold those events and who's going to come along to them. Just in your invitation, say what the event's about. Wine is part of the event, and everyone will know that section of the tasting is going to be about certain things. But the rest is to bring like-minded people together to have a good time. That's what it's about. Alternative. Now, alternative is left up to your own imagination. Singles, couples and families. Fitness. Now these you can have outdoors. You'll have to adhere to the laws of drinking outdoors. Maybe it could be on someone's property out somewhere where you can have gone for a walk, or you can go for a walk and then afterwards meet up, or whatever. But fitness is left up to your imagination again. You might be bringing together a sailing club, or bringing together a canoeing club, or a walking club, or a running club, or whatever. So again, bringing like-minded people. Networking, need I go into that? Everyone wants to network in business. Good way to have evening gatherings, have a speaker, you can do whatever you like. Entrepreneur, we try and use that as our 101 club, which is basically either to teach people how to get a group going. You can do with it what you want. You can charge people for lessons, you can help them set up their own business within this Night of Wine meetup group. We had all sorts of restrictions on how much you could charge and how much you could do this, and we've just had to release ourselves from having too many restrictions. We want the correlated scores. That's what we want. We want everyone to be drinking the wine. We want to find out what you think of that wine, and then we want to bring those thoughts back, and then we want to redistribute them back to our members. So that's our 10 categories in brief: connoisseurs, dining out, spirituality, alternative, singles, couples, families, fitness, networking, and entrepreneur. Now families is a good one for people who can have babysitting facilities, so you can have families come along, and maybe you've got an older daughter or son or a neighbour or whatever can look after everyone's kids. If you've got a space somewhere, maybe a little toy room or part of the house that you can section off to look after everyone's kids, so they can be separate, enjoy the evening, know that their kids are there and safe with them. That will get families out and about, especially with people with new kids, and will also allow you to have functions where you can bring your friends or other people to a venue as well. Now I'm going to leave it there, folks, and tomorrow Roger's going to be coming in. Roger's my father, and he's been travelling around, gallivanting around the globe, and he's going to be taking us through a few things that he's come back with over his travels. Anyway, folks, me with a little bit of you, we're changing the wine world, whether they like it or not.